So that was really fun to do, and I was just sorry to have missed Alex. She wasn't on shift today, but boy, if I hadn't gone in there, I would never have seen the s'mores. How awesome was that? And I'm just about in perfect timing for my next appointment. So that is really great fun. You never know who you're going to meet. So, you look at it and could I have chosen not to go and say hello or ask them if I could videotape the s'mores? Yep. But Ange would never have forgiven me. I could hear her. Go look, go look, go look. It was such fun. The kid in me is very happy now, as you know. Now, I also heard, because I made a comment about it, like, I got to come back and try that. And then one of the people there said to me, we also do, a fruit fondue, I think, in hot chocolate sauce. Hello? What's not to like about that? So, Alex, if you see this, sweetie, I came in to say hi, and I will be back. Maybe not for a few weeks, but I will be back. You know that. You are my go-to place now when I'm out and about. I need a really nice sit down and catch up with emails and things. So, thank you for being there for me. You see, Alex, you never know the impact you will have on somebody. And that's a real lesson to learn. Everybody was very kind to me, but it wasn't the same because you weren't there. But I know that as I get to meet everybody else, I will enjoy them just as much, I'm sure. But then there's Alex. So now the next thing is to go and get my hair cut, and I feel like it's well overdue. And the joke is that I have to have my next haircut, don't have to, but my next haircut is planned for just a month away rather than 6 weeks because of the Christmas season. And it was really cute because somebody said to me today, we're going into Christmas now, and I went, yes, we've got 40 days. She said, really? And I said, yeah, 40 days today. And by the way, only 126 until spring. And you should see how she perked up. So I like knowing how many days it is until spring. 126, that's sort of like just a few weeks away, right? When you say it quickly. Now, I've got it in my brain. I'm going to ask my stylist a question about how do they cope. So give it thought for a second. How many people do you think are going... a cop car with lights on is not a good thing. Apparently a bit of a chit-chat on the side of the road with all the lights flashing. 2 cops and 1 non-cop. Don't know what the chit-chat was about, and no, Angela, I'm not going back to find out. I've got a feeling I would not be popular. Anyway, here's my thought for the day. You imagine that with all that happened in Paris yesterday, can you imagine what it must be like being a hairdresser today? Now, the reason I say that is, as you can probably imagine, everybody's going to come in, or a vast majority of people who follow the news are going to come in and talk about it. So my question is, what tricks does Bonnie have? Bonnie's the lady who does my hair. What tricks does Bonnie have to set the personal boundary where that doesn't keep bringing her down and down and down? Because, you know, to have one person talk about it, okay, that's, you know, that's normal. But you imagine that almost every client that she sees today will talk about that horrific act in Paris. So I wonder how she does that. I'm going to ask her and see if she'll let me videotape her answer. See, one of the things that I really believe is that all the lessons that we need are out there in our everyday lives. One of the greatest tips that I was given in my life, and I've been given a lot of good ones, but one of the greatest ones I was given was, imagine what somebody else would do. You try and think of the person that you know that's most together or whatever it is, and then try and imagine what they would do in that situation. And if you can, get hold of that person and ask them. And I found that really helpful in my life. You know, I've met some pretty powerful people in my time, and in a way, I'm sorry I'm not meeting them now, because now I would have totally different questions for them. But it's always interested me that I could pick up the phone and say to them, okay, I've got a really strange situation going on here. What do you think I should do? Or what advice would you have? Because you don't want to ask anybody what to do, because that's giving them responsibility, and that's not what this is about. This is about, can you give me any options? I thought of a few, but I would like a few more. So I thought of you. Because most people have got options for you. So, and it's a really amazing habit to get into. I was sitting there almost in tears yesterday. You know, we're getting very close to 500,000 views now. We're just over 1,000 views away. And some of the broadcast peeps yesterday were recounting their stories. And the story that really touched my heart yesterday was Paul's. And for those of you who don't know Paul joined us probably over a year ago now, maybe 2. But when we met him, he was a very scared puppy in a lot of ways. You know, he had a lot of anxiety issues. He was pretty heavily medicated. Had been in a very traumatic accident where he had gone through a windshield of a car in this accident. I think he got T-boned. And actually, for him to go through... Oh, he must have been... He wasn't T-boned if he went through the windshield. Anyway, whatever happened, he ended up going through a windshield, and needless to say, was very traumatized in his life. Well, I don't know what it was about us that rang a bell with him, but he hung around and he listened to lots of different coping things that we were telling other people, and he has a great sense of humor, so we were able to sort of playfully make fun of some of the things that he was busy doing and so forth. And he took it all with such grace. And slowly but surely he started to mend, and he started to not be a anxiety-ridden person. And suddenly he started going outside a bit more, and going and meeting up with people more, and doing all these sort of things, which was amazing. And then, just as he was sort of finding his feet, and by the way, we got him broadcasting, which he's got a very natural talent for, because he's very entertaining and very funny. And just as he was getting really going, he got a diagnosis that he had a growth on his neck. And he had to go through radiology and all that goes with that. And he vlogged his way through it to keep us all informed and really taught us how brave he really was. I mean, the courage of the man. I don't think I could have done what he did with such grace and humor. So all of us who are part of the DearMamaSal network are very, very grateful to him for the lessons he taught us. But here is the most amazing thing. He was on the broadcast yesterday, one of the broadcasts yesterday, or both of them. And what he was telling people was that he just got the all clear from his doctor to come off all his meds. No more anxiety meds, no more depression meds, no more whatever. And the doctor said, I don't know what you've been doing, but keep doing it. Because the change in you is amazing. And you know, bless his heart, Paul is trying to thank me and the team, and I'm a great believer in, boy, you know, this would not be possible without Paul making his own changes, you know, and listening, coming and being part of the discussion, and you know, maybe not liking some of what was said, but going away and thinking about it and then deciding whether he wanted to do anything differently. And so, you know, I look at it and go, way to go, Paul. And you deserve all the credit on this one. We'll take a little bit, but really know that you deserve the credit, because you're the brave man here. And not only that, look how much he gives to others now. You know, he is forever caring about others and genuinely cheering people up when they're down, and in his own beautiful way. And I think, again, you have to know, and this is so true so often, don't go comparing yourself with the other people. What you have to give to the world is very special to you. And you know, you may never be an internet star or whatever, but don't ever forget that what little you have to give to those around you and your friends, even if you never ever end up doing anything else, the power of one person to affect the life of another is amazing. And when you get together in a group, it is even more amazing. I think one of the really nice things that I was talking with Benji about today, or he mentioned the fact that with all that had happened in Paris and how evil that was, at least what we all do in our lives, and particularly what we do in raising money in Down December each year, is an act of great love for our fellow human beings. And everybody donates their time, and everybody donates their expertise. And that in itself is an act of great love. And what we get to do with the incredible donations that you all give is amazing. So remember that it may not seem like much to you, but it really is. What is that whole thing about a guy who throws a I want to call it a sandstorm. It's going to drive me insane that I can't remember the name of it anyway. Back into the sea. And somebody says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I want to make a difference in the world." and the cynic that was watching said, "Well, throwing back one of those is not going to make much of a difference." And the guy says, "Yeah, but it will to that one." And if you think about it, if we all do our little act of goodness and love and care and help one another, we will change the world, and we will not be overrun by all this evil. This is DearMamaSal saying thank you for being there. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. By the way, listen to the end of this if you haven't. It'll tell you all about what we do and when we do it and how we do it. I really send you lots of love and kindness, and continue to make the world a better place. Bye-bye for now.